Today we are working on a Samsung model hw-mm55 soundbar, 24 volt, 25 watt. The guy brought it over today, a friend of mine, and the soundbar does not turn on. It said he has 24 volts, I would assume, here. And we're going to measure. Start out with the basics. Let's see. Does it say 24 volts? Where does it say that? Yep, 24 volts, 40 watts. And this will always be the ground. The outside generally is the ground. It's got a plastic sleeve inside, so that's good. So let's measure it. Today we're working on a Samsung soundbar, and it's a model hw-mm55. It has no power, it won't turn on. We're going to start out with the basic. We're going to measure the output of the power supply. It should have 24 volts. Using a voltmeter. Outside should be ground. The pin on the inside should be 24 volts. And that's what we have. Okay, so I know we have power. I know a buddy of mine said he measured that, and I wanted to re-verify. And next is, I want to just plug it in. And he said it should be a little digital display here. And there's a power button on the one side. So we're going to press and hold that. Nothing comes on. Alright. So it is confirmed to be dead. Let's see why. Here's the power button on the side. There's got volume, got the power, and I'm not sure exactly what that does. I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws out. If you're working on the same model, you should see the exact 7 screws that I'm talking about. Using a Phillips screwdriver, take the screws out. Now, I've never worked on one of these before, so we're going to be learning together with this. There might be many steps that I have to take in order to figure this out. Hopefully, this is a common problem that will fix yours. No guarantees, though. I do get a lot of people say, well, that didn't fix mine. Well, I can't guarantee the same electronics is going to fail the same way. It doesn't work that way. Electronic has its own mind of its own. Alright. Got those screws out. This just lifts up. I just pulled up here. And see, there's the back cover. This is cool. I just noticed right here there's this little clip. I wonder if we just fold this up, because that should be for the display. If we fold this up, it should make a connection. Because if we fold it down, it disconnects us, right? Or do we fold it up and it can disconnect us? Okay. Interesting. Never seen one like that. I have one over here too. Alright, well, we know that we flip this up, you'll be able to take and lift this up. This ribbon cable Same way with this ribbon cable. And we have a screw over here that we need to get to. Another screw here. Here's a fuse. I'm going to ohm that out. It's 5 amps. And we have a couple more screws here we have to take off. So, let's get the ohmmeter out. Same thing I was using before. Voltmeter, ohmmeter. Doesn't have to be fancy. This one comes from Walmart, as long as it turns on. 0 L means infinity, overload. That should be continuity right there. And it appears to be that 5 amp fuse is bad. So, I'm going to make sure there's not like any conformal coating or anything on this board. I'm just going to kind of scratch this up just a hair, just to make sure. And nope, it is bad. So that 5 amp fuse is bad. I am going to find a replacement for it and see what happens. And so if you're going to follow along with this repair, you can just use a cheap soldering iron from Walmart to remove this. And I do mean cheap. This is just a $5 soldering iron. It's not isolated from, you know, power. It's the cheapest you can get. I'm gonna take this fuse off, and let's see. I'm gonna solder another fuse in there. I may have 5 amps. I may not have 5 amps. We'll have to figure that out. You can also put, if you're good at it, Walmart should sell pigtail fuses in an automotive section. And you just have to take solder, you remove this fuse here, you heat up both sides, remove it, and you solder one wire down, you solder the other wire down, and tuck it off to the side. Should have enough clearance at the top. So, replace this fuse and power it up and see what happens. It may just be that they had the volume all the way up and something happened. See what happens when I change the fuse. Okay, so we got the soldering iron hot. Cheap solder from Walmart. And we're gonna remove the solder, the fuse. What I'm gonna do is just ball up a bunch of solder on one side, heat it up. I'm gonna do the same for the other side. Now, you might want to do this in a well-ventilated area, because lead is, it can cause cancer. So that's just your warning. If you have an air soldering station, it's going to work so much more better. I'll move this up just a hair so I can get in here and actually work. And what I'm doing is just heating up on one side and heating up on the other side. You want to do this quickly to move it off. Large thermal pad basically underneath them, so it cools off rather quickly. You can physically break the part if you wish, which It may have to be that. Like I said, if you have an air soldering station, hot air station, if you have that luxury, great. If you don't, just keep at it. I'm going to add enough solder so I can make a ball on the top. Make a bridge of solder. That way, I can get this off easier. And there we go. I got it off. Now you want to be careful and not make a solder bridge across the capacitor above it. I believe that says C11. Here's the old part. I'm going to try to get to see what this is. There. I don't want that part to get damaged. It's just a minor, small filter cap. I'm not really concerned too much about it. You don't want to put a lot of heat on this fuse, but you want to get it to solder down, just like that. I believe both sides are attached. I'm going to heat this side up real quick, just to make sure I got that side done, and I did. Good. Okay. So, just like that, you're able to change the fuse. Like I said, if you needed to take hair cutters, wire cutters, and just cut down the center and cut it, and then remove one side at a time, totally up to you. So, kind of a backstory. The Opto, from what I remember and understand in the conversation, this light thing here, the guy, previous owner, had it stuck. So it may have been something that they'd done internally that caused some damage. And this guy, the friend of mine, was just given this unit for free in payment for something else. Okay, good. Now I'm going to take, and I have pretty good faith, I'm going to put all the screws back in, and we're going to power it up. Watch for the little screen. I'm not sure what the screen looks like. I've never seen one of these sound bars before. I don't own one. But it was fun to take a peek at, possibly fix. We'll find out in less than 30 seconds from here. So I'll plug it in. I'll either have light or I won't have anything at all. I'm plugging it in. Well, speakers are cycling, which is not something I expected. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to take it apart again. Can't get too cocky, I guess. At least we know the fuse was bad. I'm not sure why speaker would be just cycling in and out of that. That kind of makes me wonder, bad filter to capacitor. Could be anything. Like there's AC on the line, alternating current. Piqued my interest here. Alright. Now, I'm assuming the speaker entirely up here, there's got to be another board or something. What I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to move this clip up. I'm going to remove this thing here. I'm going to move this thing here. And then I'm going to take this board off. Now, I know it has an issue other than the fuse. And I'm going to make sure I took that solder bridge off, and I did. Good. Not sure what that is, but piece of foam. A small screw. Another small screw. Okay, that slides like that. Alright. Small little circuit board here. I'm just gonna, I guess, lift it up. There is another wiring. Oh, I guess I can take this whole thing out. I didn't know this. Okay. Interesting. There. Well, we're done. I'm going to take these two wires here off to the clip. You may not even have to take this wire here off, but you do have to take that wire harness off here. Okay, so I am going to take this off, back off again. I'm going to disconnect this wire here. Hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to disconnect this wire here. Not sure exactly what that's for, but okay. And this thing has pins on it. And I'm just going to pull up, and just like that, it removes from the circuit. This is surface mount soldered sockets. I'm assuming these are for the speakers. CTW minus, CMID, LT, WT, So your low mid, or left mid, left tweet, center mid, and center tweet. Is that what I'm reading right? And then your right tweet and right mid. That's what I'm reading from this. That's for the speakers. Here's the infrared sensor for your remote control. There's a display. So I'm not sure where the video last left off on, because when I get phone calls, it stops the video. So everything that I've been talking about for the last probably 5-10 minutes has been wasted. I did plug this back in, and the center speaker here was throbbing. I'm not sure exactly why, but it seems like it's more of a voltage issue for like a filter cap or whatever, I thought. So I removed the two connectors here to remove a series of screws, and this board here pulls apart. I'm guessing this is it's going to be your audio part of it, mostly. You got a bunch of coils and stuff. Not much I can really talk about on this. Unless I can, like, really see something strange and unusual. I am going to add more solder to the fuse that I put onto the board. I'm starting to question the little power supply here, because if this is putting off AC, although I did measure 24 volt DC, it might give me a hint that there's something filtering wrong with this. So this would do all your noise reduction and stuff, because obviously they don't have much for, I mean, you have your filter for your coils and stuff. But that's about it. You know, they don't have the filter capacitors on here. It's just filtered mostly with coils and output chips. So it kind of leads me to believe that there's something more going on. And also, we may have a burnt chip. I can take and look at this under my jeweler's loupe and see. That actually might be burnt, because that's raised up. Part number, it says 88CTLE G4. 88CTLE TG4. It says Burr, BURR-Brown. And underneath it is 88002. That chip there looks like it's a little swelled up, and it could be bad. I'm going to look on here. Let's see, how would this board been laid like this? And it would have been here. So you can see the markings of the, like you can see the marking and the lettering of the chip on this, whatever kind of pad it is. It's a thermal pad. But you can actually see where it raised up with the marking here, where that chip must have got hot and fried. So, I'm going to add more solder to the fuse, and then I'm going to see if I can find that chip online and order it. See what happens. Here's where things get weird. Okay, so this is an audio chip, and you can see the part. This says Beer Brown 88002. So that 88002 is the actual part number. It's 88002. DCAR. I'll put a picture of from what I've found online. If you just search 88002 chip on Google, you'll probably come across that. I'm not really sure what exactly caused the failure for this, and I'm trying to see if I can make it so you can see what exactly I'm looking at. Kind of hard because there's not really a good indication or indicator. See if I can find something I can point and see it. But see, like right here, see, this is all nice and flat, and right here we got that little bump right there. That's what I'm saying. That chip is bad, and that's what's causing the thing going bleh. Which I do not know if you actually saw that in the videos, because people like to call me when I'm trying to make instructional stuff like this. So what I've learned is this chip here, I can't buy it off of Texas Instruments. It's just something they made for Samsung, just specifically from Samsung. But you can buy this part. I found it on one website for $20. I'm trying to see if I can find it on other websites for cheaper. So if I do offer this as a service, I'm going to see if I can make this a cheap fix. I do not know how much this actually cost originally. It's Samsung, so it probably cost $300 or $400. I'm guessing it's not going to be cheap. But I don't think this chip here is something that a standard user at home is going to be able to take and change and with their $5 soldering iron. And I say that reason being because in between these pins here, which I think are, if I can look at this correctly, that is 0.5 millimeter pitch, which means there's 0.5 millimeters gap between pin to pin. So in between this pin here and these pins here, underneath this chip, is a ground plate. It's a heat transfer basically as well. So you're gonna have to have a hot air station to remove this. So if you've been following along in the video, and you can just take and unscrew the whole stupid metal frame chassis, whatever the hell you want to call it, this thing here, and just disconnect the two wires going to your speaker and this wire here, and send me the rest of your unit. If it's doing the same damn thing that thing did, I possibly can fix this for you. I don't know how much. If I can find it in bulk and order it, great. If I can't, then I'm just going to be charged $20 a chip. And you better tell me which chip it is. If it's not something I can visually see, tell me what circuit it is. If it's the left side, the right side, it's the center. If it's all three of them, if the whole damn thing making bleh noise, then I guess you need to tell me that. Oh, and on the bottom here, you can see all the coils and stuff. These are probably audio drivers. So if I got my guess, just like with plasma television sets, they have chips along the side there that catches on fire. And I can kind of see a little bulge here. There's a slick right here. Ah, there we go. Okay. So, if you can see nice and flat, nice and flat. These are thermal pads. And I think I scuffed this up myself, but there's one little dot right there. That's where that chip bulged out. You can barely tell too. But it's right here. Right where that is. So this is the bottom of it. And these are coils. These look like those audio driver chips. Take a look at right here. You can see some type of marking. Get a pair of tweezers and see. Like right in this area here, there's a little lump. Everything else is flat. There's this one thing right here, it's got a little lump. Now if we were to look at the heat sink, there's that same little hole right there. And the other ones are flat. So this thing here leaves a very good impression. It's almost like putty, but you can't get it to reform back. It's that soft. So that means that chip right there is bad, and it's probably internally causing something voltage-wise be screwed up. Burr-Brown, B-U-R-R Brown, 88002. That is an audio thing. So the part number, if you search it, 88002, that's where you're gonna find those chips. So I'm gonna get the chip ordered for this. See what happens. I don't think that this board here can be replaced. I did look on eBay and see if they had any other boards already like it, and there was none. So, pretty much have to just fix it. I replaced the fuse, and now I'm going to do this. If you're thinking about doing this yourself, unless you have really good equipment or knowledge how to do this, this is not something anybody else, typically a home user, can do. This is what I geared most of my videos for, is just anybody can buy a cheap soldering iron and learn how to do this. This has 0.5 millimeter pitch between pin to pin. So that means that gap between pin to pin is 0.5 millimeters wide. That's how small that is here. So you can easily have solder bridges in that sort. And I'm betting with most of these have a little pad underneath the bottom there, and it acts like a heat sink and also acts like a ground plane for this. So we have to get one of these ordered and change it out. Now, it's been a minute since I've gotten this part ordered. I ordered it from a place in Ohio, and I charged $13 for the part and $13 for shipping. This is part number. So yeah, I'll put in the video description the website and where I ordered it from. It's m-indeed.com. That's who I ordered it from. This is the item name, MDA_Sam. That's the part right there, TAS 880021. I ordered one because we only have one that was bad. Let's get it changed out. Alright, so here's the part. You could probably buy this off of AliExpress or wherever. A lot cheaper, but it is what it is. And here's the part. This little guy here cost $26. It's really expensive. In reality, you can get these for like $4 when you buy quantity of the 5. So you fix one, you keep the rest for whatever reason. If you recall, this chip here was the one that was the bad one. They had the crack in the top. We'll take him, go ahead and change him out. Use the air soldering station for this, and heat up our pads, both sides. I believe there's a thermal pattern underneath as well. We'll figure that out when we get there. I don't think it's quite yet ready. Might have to increase the temperature. It's 400 degrees Fahrenheit now. Celsius, I mean, 400 Celsius. I know it melts solder because it's just going to be melting like that. Alright. 400 degrees Fahrenheit, Celsius. Alright, there we go. Chip's been removed. Does have a thermal pad on the bottom. I think the reason I had problem with this prior is because the ceiling fan was going and it was blowing the heat around too much. See if I can see on the bottom if there was anything going on. I don't see any cracks. Just a solder blob. Okay, so this is what we're gonna clean up here. Doesn't look too bad. Couple pads. Get my soldering iron going. I have to be changing the cable out of it. That's one bad. If anybody's interested, I might order some more chips straight from Alibaba myself. It'd be a lot cheaper than $13 a chip. I try to buy American when I can buy American, but that's too much, in my opinion. And when I say I try to buy American, this is made in China, so I try to support a American seller. You can't buy this chip in America. It's not made in America. So before anybody goes, oh, you should have bought American-made product. Well, good luck with electronics. American-made products. They don't quite make everything the same, or anything that would work for this package. Alright. So, yeah. I had a little bit glob of solder for the thing here. I think that should be good enough. Maybe it's too much. I don't know yet. Hopefully it's not. I'm going to take and put that chip straight out of this package and right here on the pads. We'll find out if that's too much. I mean, you have the pad all the way around it to disperse that. I want to make sure that we get this on right the first time, because when it cools down the center pad, it's going to be kind of a pain to get it off. So while I have heat on it, I'm going to be adjusting the chip. Make sure I got it in proper placement. And I don't want to put too much heat on it. I don't want to burn the pads up. That looks pretty spot on. pretty darn close to be spot on. I just wanted to press it down just to make sure. Okay. I think I'm happy with it. I'm gonna, oh, the board's hot. I'm gonna take and just bump this just a hair this way. There we go. Alright, I'm happy with that. And I'll solder all the pins off camera because that's gonna take a while to do. Show you what I just did. That chip right there, you can read the writing on. And I gotta put solder on those pads. Make sure those pins get some electricity through them. Make sure I look through them through the inspector's goggle. Make sure everything's right. I could bump it just a hair that way. It would be ideal. Let's see how long it takes to heat up for this to be able to be moved. I don't know if you can and can't see. Like it's just pivoting. I don't need it to pivot, I need it to be turned. Probably one of my worst soldering jobs I've ever done. I'm not really proud of it. But I gave it the great coat. And then they're adhered. There is a gap between there. I don't have really the necessary tool to fix it right now, but it works. So now it's time to assemble everything back together. Being that it was a couple of months ago that I put this together, I took it apart. I'm going to go back to the old footage and see what part went where. I know this went like this. I just need to know screws, where the screws went, what the screws look like, and that sort. Yeah. Because I have absolutely no knowledge of where whatever went where. And I don't know how this all goes together on this side. I know this has got to press down on this board. But it's also got to go into here. Oh, okay, because it goes like this. Now I understand. Gotcha. Now I understand. Okay. Now I know I got this not lined up. Gotta line all the pins up down here. I gotta make sure I don't break the plastic off down here. In the meantime, that's in. No, why can't I get this in? Okay. I have to do something. Could probably loosen that. There. I think that'll work. And then I just gotta get, yep. Just gotta push that in. Gotta get this board like that. Alright, there we go. Now that makes more sense. And then this will go back to here. And that locks. And this goes back into here. And that locks. And that goes here. Okay. That locks. Sweet deal. And then there'll be a ribbon cable for these here. Now I gotta find the screws. Where? I wonder if it's these. I wonder if that's the right thread. That's not the right thread. No. Alright, I think I'm going to look at the footage in the past. I thought I had everything in a baggie. But I don't know where anything went. Fuse is good, got 24 volts. Here's the thing, I don't know how this turns on. I don't know if there's a thing on the side it's supposed to light up, or if it's just from the front. So, if it doesn't make any noise, then that's good. But if it's showing me indication, and I have all my lights on and I can't see, then I don't know if I fixed it. So let's turn this. Okay. So, I see something. Good. No more noise. Awesome. Alright, so well, there you go. Hello. We're working. No more of that noise. Is that a wind chip? Took care of that problem. Booyah. Now I can upload this video. And I can return this back to its owner and get it out of my room. This is for the long process of getting this part in and a part on and figuring it out. But we got it done. And if you're able to do it yourself, awesome. So, Yeah. What I was expecting on the right side was some sort of power light, but I wasn't looking up here. Good deal. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helped you out. I'll see you next time.